Welcome back to Simply Sports Science, the home of clear, simple and powerful explanations for everything you need to be successful in IB Sports Science. Whether it's anatomy, physiology, training or exam revision tips, we'll break down the tricky stuff so you can learn it, remember it and use it. If you want to boost your understanding and your grades in sports science, you're in the right place. Alright, let's talk about connective tissues. Now, when we think about sport and exercise, the spotlight usually falls on muscles and bones. But here's the truth. Without our connective tissues, none of it would work. They're the framework, the glue, the stabilizers and the shock absorbers that make the whole system possible. So what are connective tissues? Well, in simplistic terms, they're groups of specialized cells that provide support, bind structures together and protect the body. They come in different forms, each with a slightly different role, but all of them are vital for movement and protecting us from injury. So let's break down the main types that you will need as sports science students. Ligaments. Ligaments are strong rope-like structures made of dense fibrous connective tissue. Their key job is to connect bone to bone at a joint, holding everything in place. Think of them a bit like strong straps on a joint that prevent it from moving too far in the wrong direction. They contain tough collagen fibers that give them strength, but also a small amount of elastin, which is just enough stretch for controlled movement. The balance is important. They allow flexibility, but limit dangerous movement that could damage our joints. For example, in the knee, the anterior cruciate ligament, known as the ACL, prevents the shin bone sliding forward relative to our thigh bone. Damage to ligaments like an ACL tear can mean months out of sport because once they're overstretched or torn, they don't heal quickly due to poor blood supply. That's why protecting our ligaments with strength training and proper warm-ups is so important in sport. Now, tendons are slightly different but just as important. They connect muscles to bone, transmitting the pulling force of a contracting muscle directly to the skeleton to create movement. Without tendons, muscles would just shorten without producing any actual motion. Tendons are made of densely packed collagen fibers, which makes them incredibly strong and resistant to tension. They don't stretch much at all, and that is a good thing because they're built for force transmission and not for flexibility. The Achilles tendon is the perfect example here. It links the calf muscles to the heel bone. Every time you run, jump, or even just walk, this tendon stores and releases energy like a spring. If it ruptures, athletes describe it as feeling like being kicked in the back of the leg, and it can take months to repair. So tendons are under massive stress in sport, and strengthening them through progressive training is really vital. Cartilage. Cartilage is smooth, slightly flexible connective tissue that plays a protective role at joints. It's not as hard as bone, but it's tougher than muscle, making it perfect for cushioning. The type most relevant for us in sport is articular cartilage, which covers the ends of bones where they meet inside synovial joints. Its job is twofold: to reduce friction and to absorb shock. Imagine two bones rubbing against each other without any cartilage. Every movement would cause pain and damage. With cartilage, movement is smooth and controlled. There are actually three main types of cartilage. Hyaline cartilage, which is found at joints, providing smooth surfaces for movement. Fibrocartilage, which is tougher and found in places needing real shock absorbance, like the discs between the vertebrae in our spine. And elastic cartilage, which provides flexibility in places such as our ears. For sports science, we mainly focus on hyaline cartilage, but understanding that there are variations helps to see why cartilage is so versatile. If our cartilage gets worn down, like in osteoarthritis, movement becomes painful and restricted, which is a major problem for athletes later in their careers. Then there's adipose tissue. Now, adipose tissue might not sound like a classic connective tissue, but it is. It's essentially body fat, but with more purpose than we often give it credit for. Firstly, it stores energy in the form of fat, which the body can use during long-duration exercise when glycogen stores are running low. Secondly, it provides insulation, helping the body regulate temperature. And thirdly, it cushions and protects our vital organs. Think of it a bit like a shock-absorbing padding around delicate structures. For us as athletes, the amount and distribution of adipose tissue can make a huge difference. A sprinter might want minimal body fat to stay light and explosive, whilst a sumo wrestler needs more for stability and impact protection. But whatever the sport, adipose tissue is essential for survival and plays a quiet but powerful role in sporting performance. And then there's fascia and fibrous tissue. Fascia is a thin but incredibly tough sheet of connective tissue that wraps around our muscles, grouping them into compartments and separates them from other structures. It doesn't just keep things organised, it also helps muscle work more efficiently by reducing the friction between them. Fascia is sometimes overlooked in sports science, but in reality it's a key part of movement. If fascia becomes tight or damaged, it can restrict motion and even cause pain. So let's bring this all together and summarise what we've learned. Ligaments connect bone to bone, stabilising joints and preventing excess movement. Tendons connect muscle to bone, transmitting powerful forces to create movement. Cartilage provides cushioning, reduces friction, and absorbs impact in joints. Adipose tissue stores energy, it insulates and it protects our organs. And fascia and fibrous tissue hold muscles in place and support smooth, coordinated movements. Together, these tissues form the body's support system, protecting us, enabling us to move, and making sport possible. Without them, our muscles and bones could not function properly, and injury would be constant. They may not get the headlines, but connective tissues are the silent heroes of our human performance. Thanks for watching Simply Sports Science. If you found this helpful, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss any of our IB Sports Science content. We've got revision guides, exam tips and clear explanations to help you be successful. And don't forget to visit us at www.simplysportscience.co.uk. Join us again next time where we'll keep making sports science simple.